Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we'll be making some oven baked jerk chicken. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So we're gonna get right into it. Alright, right now we had already cleaned our meat beforehand, so now we're basically gonna be seasoning our chicken. We'll be doing a partial powder seasoning and also blended seasoning. So we're gonna start off with our Maggi All Purpose. We'll just be putting a little bit on it because, as I mentioned, we'll be adding our blended seasonings as well. So we don't want to put too much of the powdered seasonings. So we're adding our chicken seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, and I'll be adding a little oregano because it definitely adds a nice flavor to your food. And then we're gonna add our jerk sauce, soy sauce, browning, and that marinade right there, that red stripe marinade. I discovered it in Progressive, and I'm telling you, it definitely works magic. So instead of you going through all the hassle of blending your marinade and putting it to soak for a very long time, that is basically everything in one. So it has the ginger, the pepper, all that you can think of. You definitely have to limit how you use it because it is definitely very, very strong with all the seasonings. So now I'm basically prepping my ground seasonings to be blended to add to the chicken as well, because you definitely know blended seasoning adds a better taste to your meat. We'll be adding some Scotch bonnet pepper, Escallion, thyme, sweet pepper, garlic, onion. I'm using the purple onion. There's not a definite reason, but it's your choice. So if you want to use the purple onion, the regular onion, it's definitely fine. They do the same magic, trust me. I'll also be adding some pimento, and I'll be adding like probably around a tablespoon of blended oil. It includes soybean oil and olive oil to our ground seasonings for it to be blended as well. So now we're basically doing that. How far are you in the video, guys? Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe once more. And I really do hope you have been enjoying my videos thus far, and you can also make recommendations on other videos that you'd like to see me do or meals that you'd like to see me create. You definitely will be pleased. Alright, so we're continuing with our video. I'm adding some of the marinade to it as well, and then we're gonna get into blending. There we go, so beautiful. Alright, so basically now that our seasoning is all blended together, we'll be adding that to our chicken. We're gonna go ahead and add that to our chicken. And then we're gonna mix it all in. Don't forget your jerk seasoning. Guys, do remember that you can always make adjustments to the seasonings. My recipe just stands as a guide, but you can definitely season your meat to your preference, your taste buds. We all have a different palate, so for everyone things will definitely taste different, so you can definitely make any adjustments that you want to the recipe. We're basically finished seasoning. I am gonna let my meat marinate overnight. You can definitely let your meat marinate for approximately 2 hours if it's a case where you want it for a dinner option, but I will be letting this marinate overnight just for the juice of the seasoning to soak in the meat. And it's the next day. We'll be moving on to preparing our meat. So I already lined my casserole dish with foil paper, and I already greased the foil paper because we're trying to cut out the extra mess. So once it's finished, you just remove the foil and boom, you'll be good, instead of all the mess that the casserole dish would have. So basically now we're putting our meat into our casserole dish, but then I'm gonna discover that I have a little grill that can actually go over the casserole dish. So I'm actually gonna place the meat on top of that instead of using the dish, because I think it would work somewhat better. It's jerk chicken we're doing, so I guess. So I'm basically removing them now, and then I'll be adding them on top of the grill. And after that, we're gonna move on to making our cornbread. But for every meat you've seen me make so far, I make a little sauce. So I'll be just making a little dipping sauce for myself while I'm enjoying my meal. I can always dip. This sauce will consist of ketchup, the jerk seasoning, the jerk seasoning jerk sauce, a little bit of honey and chili peppers, and a little tip of black pepper, probably around a pinch of black pepper, not a lot because we don't want to overburden it. I'm somewhat creating like a jerk chili sauce, if you know what I mean. So I'm putting a little tip of honey, as I said, the tomato ketchup. We'll be using some of the jerk seasoning in it as well, the chili peppers and black pepper as well. So we're basically going to mix that all around, and I'll be adding it to my little sauce cup and putting that away. And then we'll be moving on to creating our delicious buttery cornbread. Nothing beats cleaning your area while you go, so when you're finished cooking you don't have all the excess work. So now we'll be moving on to making our cornbread. That 1 stick of butter is actually half cups of butter, so it requires half cup of butter, 1.5, I use 1.5 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, let's say 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon salt. You can put 2 teaspoons salt, but because I'm already using a salted butter, then I'll just be using 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm also adding 2 eggs, and I'll also be adding 1 cup of full cream milk. I have the margarine butter set aside and the honey as well, so that when the cornbread is finished we can definitely brush that on top, and I'm telling you that will be extremely delicious. And you have to ensure you brush it on when it's just coming out of the oven, so it will definitely just seep in with the heat. Using a spring form to bake my cornbread in, and it's a little wide. Well, it is wide, but I don't like when my cornbread is high or too thick. I don't know, I find it to be a turn off for me. As I said, everything works different for everyone. If you definitely want it to be thick, then you can use a shorter baking tin so that it comes out thicker. But I like when mine is a little bit flat, so that it's more, for me, it's a turn off when it's too big. So I'm using a spring form. It's pretty wide, but as I mentioned, because I want it to be flat, then I'll be using that. So I'm basically going to be greasing the springform so that it doesn't stick. I'm also adding foil to the bottom because the springforms tend to seep at the side where you apply the bottom. So I'm basically adding that to create less mess. Now we're gonna be putting our mixture into the pan, and then we'll be putting that into the oven for it to bake at approximately, it depends on the type of tin you use. For this tin that I'm using, it probably takes 15 to 25 minutes, probably not so much because it's a little bit wider, so I guess it will take less time. I'll be moving on to frying my plantains to add to my dish. I absolutely love plantains. I don't know about you, but I really do. So I definitely have to add plantains to my dish. So we're basically doing that now. Look at our meat and our cornbread. We're checking in. Everything looks good so far. And we're gonna go ahead and look at our cornbread. We're using toothpick to check. Came out clean, so we know it's ready. So remember, I told you before, we're going to apply the margarine to the top when it's hot and the honey so that it can seep in, and that gives it a nice taste, my love. It's definitely great, delicious. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to show you how it looks when we cut. Take a look at our cornbread. Delicious. And now our chicken joins the party. So we're gonna go ahead and slice that chicken up. It's been a while, but it is ready. And look at our dish, guys. This is our oven baked jerk chicken with cornbread. Here's your plate. Have a nice day. Bye bye.